all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. And once again, we've got a lot to cover, but real quick before we get started with today's news, I just wanted to let you guys know that we have launched 2 new contests yet again on both Marvelous News and Toy News International, where we're giving away $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. We do these contests every month. So, if you go over there, you can do one site or both site and have 2 chances of winning. But, again, we do this every month. So if you go over there and you participate, eventually your chances are going to get pretty good that you're actually going to be a winner. Now, also, I did the contest here on YouTube where I gave away $100 store credit. I posted the name of the winner on that video where we announced the contest. I pinned it to the top of the comments. The winner's name is Gregory, and if you're watching, go over and check that video and do what you need to do to claim your prize. But right now I'm waiting for that person to actually claim their prize before I do another contest here on YouTube. Okay, so let's get into the news, and let's start things off with some news on the NECA toy front. So back in July, during their stay-at-home Comic-Con event, they put out some teaser images for upcoming products, and one of the teaser images they showed was what looked like heat vision beams. And, your first thought would have been Superman, but I was pretty sure NECA is done with DC Comics for at least the foreseeable future. And so I didn't think it was like another Superman figure they were teasing. And the first thing that came to my mind was that they were going to be teasing Homelander from the Amazon series The Boys, which is actually starting its 2nd season at the end of this week. It'll be premiering on Amazon Prime. But, that seemed like a good fit for NECA. If they did action figures, The Boys, if you're not familiar, it tells the tale of superheroes that maybe aren't quite as heroish as you might think they are. Homelander is a Superman-like character. He's got Superman-like powers, but he's really not a good guy like Superman is. The public thinks he is, but he's really kind of an asshole. So a lot of carnage. Homelander uses those heat vision to kill a lot of people in the first season. And so it seemed like a perfect fit for a superhero line that NECA could do. And so that was really my going thought of what they were teasing. And it turns out that was what they were in fact teasing. This week, Sony put out a press release talking about various licenses, companies that are going to be doing a product based on The Boys. And one of the companies they mentioned is NECA Toys. And that they're going to be doing 2 7-inch scale articulated action figures based on the Homelander character and Starlight, the female character. So we got those 2 figures coming. Now, I don't know if they're going to do more. There's no indication that they're going to do the entire team, but hopefully, if these sell well, maybe they're even already planned to do the whole team, and these are just the 2 they're announcing right now. But even if they're not necessarily planning on doing the whole team at this point, hopefully they will sell well, and they will do more characters from the show. Now, they also tease that there's some other thing they're working on for the Boys property, which I don't think is action figure related. It might be, I don't know. It's a very vague tease, but it says in the press release, it says NECA is working on a special product for consumers around the fan favorite character Laser Baby from the first season. So, again, I'm not entirely sure what that's exactly referencing, but I don't think it's necessarily just a 7-inch action figure. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll be getting, no images of the figures have been released yet, but hopefully that will be coming soon. But we'll have to wait and see. But definitely action figure, 7-inch scale action figures are coming from NECA Toys for The Boys series based on the Amazon series. There's obviously a comic book series as well, but these are going to be based on the TV series. Okay, now switching gears to Transformers. So yesterday was Tuesday, which meant we got a new reveal from Hasbro. And with this week's reveal, they showed us Generation Selects Cordon and Spinout, which are paying tribute to 2 original Takara Tommy Diaclone figures. So, you can see these guys look kind of like Sunstreaker. They have the Sunstreaker heads and everything. One's red, one's white, looks like a police car. And, so they are repaint figures, but again, they're paying homage to those original Takara Tommy Diaclone figures, and these will be out. These are scheduled to start shipping in January of next year. And they are up for pre-order at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, and then for McFarlane Toys, so yesterday Todd McFarlane revealed in a video that he's going to be releasing a new updated 7-inch scale Mandarin Spawn figure. So this figure is, like we've been seeing with a lot of the McFarlane stuff, is going to see two different versions released. There's going to be a regular version, and then there's going to be a gold label collection series version that will be released exclusively at Walmart. So we saw, we know they're doing one for The Witcher. We know they're doing one with that Todd McFarlane designed Batman figure, where they're doing two versions. So the regular release version, which we really didn't get a very good look at yesterday, is going to have a red outfit on, and then this one that they showed off in the video, which has the blue outfit, is going to be the Walmart exclusive. Now, according to Todd in the video, the two figures are going to have a number of differences. So like those spikes on the shoulder are going to be reversed, maybe even a little bit different. The loincloth that he's wearing, I guess, is going to be a little bit different. And then the facial expression on the figure is also going to be different. And then the figures are going to come with accessories. So both figures are going to come with a dragon sword. But, or at least I think both figures are going to come with a dragon sword. Todd's not super 100% clear with these things, but it seems like both figures will end up coming with that dragon sword. But then the Walmart exclusive one will come with that larger staff that you see in the video. That is definitely going to be exclusive to the Walmart version. So now the figure is slated to go up for a pre-order on the Walmart version. That is slated to go up for pre-order on walmart.com starting on October 1st. Now, there has been some confusion on what property this actual figure is going to fall under. I think it is actually going to fall under the Witcher property, the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt property that was recently announced by McFarlane. Now, I know, so first of all, let me just tell you why. So I understand there's no connection that we know of at this point of the Mandarin Spawn and that video game, and so a lot of people are wondering why would they stick this figure in that series, and I don't honestly have that answer. I don't follow video games closely enough to know if there's any indication that there's going to be a Spawn reference in the game. But I certainly would say that it's possible that there could be something now or in the future as an add-on to the game or what have you that could make having this figure show up in the game or in this line more sense. Now, the main reason why I think this figure is actually going to be in the Witcher, fall under that Witcher label, is that I was made aware of this figure weeks ago. It's been up on an overseas distributor list for a couple of months now. And in that distributor list, they listed the Mandarin Spawn figure as part of the Witcher line. Now, I know in the video that Todd did yesterday, he holds up packaging that is Witcher based, but that is obviously, you can see in the video, it's not the packaging for the Spawn figure. Now, in the video I saw initially, it was the one on Twitter, which looks like actually the very ending got cut off. And so I actually missed the part where he does mention something about, when he's talking about the packaging, mentioning that the figure is for a different property. However, if you watch a lot of these Todd McFarlane videos, and there was another video he posted on Instagram which didn't get cut off. I didn't watch that until this morning where I saw that. So I didn't see the initial part where he mentioned different property. But again, I go back to that that listing that popped up months ago saying that was part of the Witcher line, which is why I still think, even despite what Todd said in that video, I still think it's going to end up being part of the Witcher property. And, I think it's possible Todd could have either misspoken, and meant to say that obviously because the packaging he was holding up was for a different figure, that's what he actually meant to say, and he misspoke and used the word property. It's also possible Todd was trying to deliberately be misleading because, if there is some type of announcement coming that will shed light on why Mandarin would be in a line for The Witcher, Todd's not going to say anything until the video game company actually were to make that announcement. So he might be deliberately trying to mislead or was at loss for words and just didn't want to say this is part of the Witcher line. I'm not saying 100% that it is, because I don't know, and we do have what he said in that videos. I'm just saying based on the initial listings I saw for this figure, it was listed as part of the Witcher line. It could have just been coincidence that he was holding up Witcher packaging when he was showing off, talking about the packaging for the figure. I don't know. But definitely the Mandarin Spawn figure is coming. There's two versions. There's a regular version that's red, and then the Walmart exclusive version that is blue. So that is something we definitely know. And if it's not part of the Witcher line, I have no idea where they would stick this figure. Now, some people might be thinking, well, maybe they're going to do a Spawn dedicated action figure line. And that would be great, but I really don't see that happening right now. First of all, that they would be, I've heard no indication that such a line is coming in any immediate future. So, and that would be very unusual in this day and age. I knew about the Witcher line coming months before the official announcement had come because it had leaked out in distributor lists. I knew about the Witcher figure coming before it was announced yesterday. And like with many of these things, we get indications. We might not have the full picture until it's officially announced, but we get at least pretty good indications that something's coming long before, that official announcement comes. So the fact that, that I'm to believe that there's a all dedicated Spawn line that's coming to mass retail like a Walmart or Target without having any indication of that, just to me does not seem very likely. Nor do I think they would do some type of online exclusive Spawn line either. Obviously, since this Mandarin Spawn is seeing a release at Walmart. So, and with these gold label collection figures, the only thing different as far as the packaging goes is they stick a gold label on the packaging for the exclusive version. It's still, like with the Witcher figure. The Witcher figure packaging that he holds up is for that Witcher figure that's part of the gold label collection. You can see it's still got the Witcher logo on it and everything, and the only big difference between it and the regular release version is it's not going to, the regular release version is not going to have that gold label. So this Spawn figure is going to have to fall under some type of property. So either they're going to make a property up for just this one figure for saying Spawn, which I tend to doubt, or it's going to fall under another property. And like I said, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to why it would be falling under the Witcher property, it makes it doesn't make any more sense for it to fall under My Hero Academia or Mortal Kombat 11 or any other of the current properties that McFarlane is doing. So like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. I personally think it's going to fall under the Witcher brand, but we'll have to see. But definitely, if you're a Mandarin Spawn fan, and the figure seems to be well articulated, he shows off the articulation in the video, at least the legs, so hopefully people will be happy with it. Okay, and then switching gears to Marvel. So I just wanted to show you guys this new updated image that the folks at Hasbro released, showing that Doctor Doom figure that was announced earlier in the week. The new image essentially shows the figure without its cape, giving you an idea of what they were going for with that soft goods collar piece and trying to capture his first appearance look. So I added the comparison picture I showed you in this last video because, telling you this is what they were kind of shooting for. But now they've actually released a new image of the figure to give you kind of that idea. So I'm showing you the two together. It's not 100%. He's got different boots and pants and everything. So it's definitely not 100% to that first appearance. But that's definitely what they were going for. Now, there's no getting around this. This is a reissue figure with slight retooling. They've been doing this all the time with these fan channel exclusives. So, if you're hung up about that, I would say just get over it. Don't buy it if you don't like it. But again, this is, it has brighter green colors. It's got that piece, which I still think we could also end up seeing on a Toad figure. And I've got some more on that I wanted to share with you in just a second. But again, with this one, like I said, I actually like the brighter green colors. I like the brighter brown colors on the belt. I love the way the belt looks. It's the same belt as the previous Doom that they did, but I like the way it looks on this figure. And, if you want to take that collar piece off, I'm sure you can pop the head off and take that off if you don't like that and you just want a more classic Doom. And obviously you can take the cape off. So, especially if you haven't been able to get the previous Doctor Doom figure, and that was one that was maybe a little bit harder to get. So if you weren't able to get the previous one, I think this is a good opportunity to get a second figure. But if you already have the previous one, I certainly can understand why there's probably not enough new here to warrant you buying a second Doom figure. Okay, and then finally, I've got some more rumors for you. So in last video, I told you about the rumored Spider-Man wave with the Into the Spider-Verse figures and the Frogman and the Hand figure, which likely is going to see the Stiltman Build-A-Figure. So now we've got some new listings, and we don't have a lot of details with these listings. These are obviously these are computer listings. Ben Irvin posted these up on Twitter, so that's the source of this information. But he has discovered what looks like several new waves. Now, we've had inclinations for some of these. So, like the Avengers wave, that's been long rumored that there's going to be a second Avengers wave coming with, I think it's going to have a mixture of video, like the first wave is going to have a mixture of video game figures based on the new Square Enix Avengers game, which debuts this week. And then also some comic book figures. I don't have an exact, I don't know exact figures that are going to be in there. I also think there's a very good chance that the Build-A-Figure for that wave is going to be MODOK. I have heard there is a MODOK figure coming, and I would not be surprised at all if that MODOK figure ends up being a video game version. MODOK's the main bad guy in the Avengers video game. And so they could, I could see them definitely doing a video game MODOK as the Build-A-Figure for that Avengers wave. I guess I could also see them even conceivably doing a comic book one, but to me, if I had to guess, and it is purely a guess, it's going to be the video game one. Now, there's a Spider-Man wave listed here, and my initial assumption was this is just the one that I talked about in the last news video. But I've been told that the numbers here actually differ from the ones listed for that Into the Spider-Verse wave. I've not seen those numbers, so I can't confirm that. But, I mean, obviously it wouldn't surprise me that we get 2 waves next year, but that they're already both showing up in the computers. I don't know. It's possible. So it's possible this wave we're seeing here is for a second wave. Until we get more details, more specifics, like I said, it's almost a no-brainer that we'll get at least 2 waves of Spider-Man figures next year. But so I wouldn't consider that newsworthy. But again, we do have that news of what's likely going to be at least in the first wave of Spider-Man figures that I talked about in the last video. Now there's a listing that has got SHC, which I've never seen this before. Going thought is it's for a Shang-Chi wave. The new Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is due out next year, May release date. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that movie ends up getting pushed with all that's been happening with COVID and all the other delays. So if the movie gets pushed, this wave would probably be pushed as well. We saw that this year with the Eternals wave. So take all of this with a grain of salt, because obviously it can change on a heartbeat. And with something like this, with these movie figures, it almost likely will. And then a new X-Men wave. So, and the reason why, again, no specific details in this list telling us what figures are actually going to be in it. But I do feel pretty strongly, just a gut feeling, that this is where those clues Hasbro was teasing in their last live stream video, those 4 figures that they were teasing, this is where those figures are going to show up at. And I do think they're going to be X-Men based. Possibly Toad, again, going back to that Dr. Doom collar, it looks very similar to what Toad wore, so I could see them reusing it with a Toad figure. Other favorites I think people would love to see are a new Avalanche figure, which would be the first time in the line. At least Hasbro. Toy Biz did, I think it was, there was a subline, I can't remember if it was Toy Biz or Hasbro, I'm sure one of you guys can chime in the comment sections, where they did an Avalanche figure, which really wasn't, to me, didn't really look like Avalanche, but they technically have done an Avalanche figure, but it was not part of the Marvel Legend line. So I think definitely people would love to see an Avalanche that looks like how he did in the comics, done in the Marvel Legend line. And then also another fan favorite would be Blob, redoing the Blob figure. Hasbro previously did a Blob figure, which actually I think is a pretty good figure. I don't actually have that figure, and it goes for a hefty price on the secondary market. So I would definitely love to see Hasbro reissue or do a new Blob figure, because I would like to add Blob to my collection. So that's one, possibly the Build-A-Figure for this wave. I could see that definitely being. Then there's that Rogue tease, or what we're pretty sure was a Rogue tease, when they showed that image of the yellow glove, the hand holding the yellow glove, likely some type of Rogue figure. So I could see that being in this wave as well. So, again, Hasbro's Dan Young this week in a tweet, which I guess he's deleted. When I went back to check it, it looked like it was gone. But he definitely put up a tweet yesterday morning, I think it was yesterday morning, but definitely this week, where he said the 4 figures that were teased in the last video, live stream video they did, those were part of the same wave. So, which to me says they're going to be themed the same way. All X-Men, all Spider-Man, all Avengers, whatever wave they end up in, they're going to be part of the same theme. So, we'll have to wait and see. This is all speculation, but hopefully those details, hopefully we'll get specific details on all these waves, except for maybe the Shang-Chi wave at the end of the month when they do their virtual PulseCon, which again, I talked about this in the last video, but will be taking place on September 25th and 26th. Okay, so that is it for today. I'd once again love to hear all your thoughts on everything I talked about in the comments section below. Again, please don't forget about those new contests going on Marvelous News and Toy News International. Details on how you can enter to win those contests are in the video description below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, stay safe out there, guys, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.